Yo, 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 welcome to the Elite Wrestling Club podcast. This is episode number 1, where we explore individuals' dreams and the unwavering persistence required to achieve them on and off the mat. I'm Lance Runyon, your host, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for our first episode. Today we're diving into episode 1, where we're just going to lead you through an introduction of our podcast and what it's going to look like, kind of our goals and our mission. Just talk you through different ideas and things that we have in mind for the next, however long this works out. So, obviously got the founder of EWC, Garrett Moll, on here today to just, talk through the goals and things like that. So,
yeah. And before we begin, I just want to say thanks again to Lance for doing this, for being the host of this podcast we're starting. When thinking about this, and I know we've talked about it for a while, I couldn't think of anyone better to do this with. So thanks, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I guess kind of going into our goals of this, just spread a good message. Try and get as many people on here as we can. Different points of view, different styles. Coaches, athletes, business owners. People that have had wrestling in their background and have been successful and used it to motivate them and drive them through their life. And I don't know. I think both of us have that background, so it'd be cool to, hear experiences from other people, even if they're not currently involved in wrestling, too. Just how they've used it and what they've learned in their life and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, too, kind of like what Doug talks about with our program is, like, wrestling's a pretty unique sport where you can express who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
I think that's what's cool about what we do with the signature collections with the athletes. Like, I got Kyle, Baby G on right now. And so I think just getting the platform to wrestlers to showcase who they are.
Yeah, and I think that's the coolest part is being able to, show your personality and show your true character and just put yourself out there, really. And that's how you grow. That's how you get fans, and it'll be cool to highlight those experiences and highlight those individuals and see where it takes us.
Absolutely.
So, I guess just a description kind of the podcast is we're just kind of going to delve into the lives of wrestlers, coaches, and fans who have achieved greatness both on and off the mat. Each week, we're going to look to explore the dreams, dedication, and unwavering persistence that drive these extraordinary individuals to excel in wrestling and beyond. So we just want to thank you for tuning in and listening and following us along on this journey as we kind of uncover the secrets to their success and reveal the impact of wrestling on personal development, character, and life balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like what we talk about in the room. Like, obviously, we're here to win a lot and get our hand raised, but also we want to set ourselves up for success after the sport, too. And I think that's what we're trying to do and trying to spread the message. And it's more to it than just a technique of the sport.
Yeah, too. And I think for like the people that tune in, we're kind of open to any other content as well that you guys would like to see, whether it's going over different results or highlighting tournaments or specific athletes or things like that you guys would want to see or questions. So definitely when we get these things posted, don't be afraid to reach out and send us a message or leave a comment or whatever it is, that if there's something else you want to see or any type of content you're interested in seeing too.
Yeah. Someone with a unique background or story that maybe helped you and you want to get that message out there even more. We're open to it.
Yeah, so as the founder of EWC, like if you want to give a background, just how you kind of started and how it's developed and how it's going now, and kind of what's encouraged and motivated you to want to be able to do this.
Yeah. So I started EWC back in the fall of 2020. I was in an entrepreneurship club for about 2 weeks, and then I had to unfortunately not go for a little bit just because wrestling was getting busy, getting down to weight, getting competition rolling. But I think I don't know. I grew up in a very entrepreneurship home. My stepdad, he has his own industrial painting company. He's had other ideas that he's worked on, and I think that was something that I was very fortunate to kind of see growing up. As I saw a lot of similarities with wrestling. I mean, everything that you're doing it's on you. You have the accountability whether it works out or it doesn't work out, and I think that can be scary for a lot of people. But I think that's something that kind of drove me towards it a little more, is that it is in my control, and I think that's something cool to have in your hands or feel like you have in your hands at times. So started in 2020. Been doing this for about 3 years now, and it wasn't until last year where I think we started to have our growth with the people we were working with, the people we wanted to work with, and just getting our message out there. I remember reaching out to Lance last year about this time, asking if he wanted to be one of our athletes, and to this day, that was probably one of the biggest impacts that we've had in this journey so far. So again, thanks, Lance. You've been awesome help, and I know this is just the beginning for us.
For sure. What kind of sparked you to want to create this podcast and kind of, I guess, ask me to lead us through it?
Yeah. So last year, I tore my labrum in my left hip, and I just remember you always being there, always messaging me, being supportive. And at the time, that really meant a lot. I've never dealt with an injury before. I didn't think it'd be as bad as it was mentally, or just the whole journey it was to be where we are now. And when thinking about the podcast, I thought that's what I want to give to others. I want to give a platform that can maybe help people get through things, not just in wrestling, but in any situation that they're having in their life. And I think that's kind of what this whole thing's been about, is how can we use wrestling to bridge success, not just in the sport, but in life as well. So I don't know. I kind of want to give guidance to people, maybe help them through things in life, because I know it's not always easy. And I mean, I know you've had your hardships as well too. So.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, those hardships and adversities are kind of what sparks the growth in our life, and our minds to want to kind of wander off and find something else that, brings us joy in life. And it's okay if that's something off the mat too. There's so many things that we can enjoy outside of just a sport. And I think that's one thing I kind of want to highlight as well, is it's not just all about wrestling, and I think that's one lesson I kind of had to learn a couple years ago when I had the double shoulder surgery. It's just wrestling's just a sport, and it's something I grew up doing for fun. It's something I grew up, meeting new friends, just having fun and being able to go and just kind of showcase your skills and really just travel around the country and be on different dual teams and eat food. And, I mean, just thinking back of all the experiences and things, it's just how much bigger we can make it sometimes than it really kind of, I don't know, should be or ought to be, and how much bigger it ends up being when you put too much pressure on yourself, or when you think things are a little bit too big, or kind of you treat them that way. And just with those adversities too and the growth, it's well, what can I do now, that I have to be away, I'm forced to be away from it. What can I do differently when maybe I decide to get back into it, maybe I don't, but what can I do differently in my life? So when you find that happiness outside of it and that joy in your life, and then when you get back into it, it's almost even better. And just trying to, remind yourself of that, and not making it too big when you get back, or however long it is. It's 6-8 months, a year. And there's a guy on our team that had surgery last year in June, and he's just now getting cleared to get back at it. So you're looking at almost a year of just constant work and persistence, and I mean, just not giving up, and ultimately
Yep.
it's just finding that purpose in life and just being able to chase it down. So it's pretty cool to be able to sit on the sidelines and watch sometimes, and watch how spectacular people really are, and how much they can push through things. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like you're kind of saying, like also being thankful for it too. Like it does, like hardship molds you. It makes you who you're going to be in the end. So like, yeah, it's not fun during the moment, and you kind of wish things would always go your way. But I also think, like, imagine how boring life would be if everything you did just was like a success. Like,
Yeah.
100% of the time, everything you're going to do is going to work out. Like, who would read a book about that, So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's what I think a lot when I'm in the hardships of things, and I'm sure you do as well, is like,
Yeah.
there's no other way I'd have it. I wouldn't be who I am. I know you wouldn't be who you are, and this also gives us a platform to help others if they're in this situation as well. So
Yeah, for sure. I guess just like formatting this thing, I guess for me, I kind of plan to develop a good background of especially the individual that we're going to have on for the week to come, and just have a lot of questions and ideas, and just being able to highlight different aspects of their life and kind of what makes them tick and what makes them successful on and off the mat. And I don't know, be able to dive deeper into their life too, outside of wrestling. And some of those things are really what makes someone so good inside of wrestling. So sometimes it's cool to see their habits and different things they do day in and day out, and the routines that they've developed. So yeah, I'm interested in definitely that aspect. And so just filling it for questions and idea and just kind of open conversation, because I obviously have a background in wrestling and as a competitor, and so I can give hopefully some good questions and insight, especially in different tournaments and things like that. So it'd be cool. It'd be interesting to kind of see how it goes.
yeah, because I know we get to see our team behind the scenes, not just during tournaments or duels. And I think that's some of the most interesting and fun times, is in the locker room, seeing each other feed off each other, laughing, making jokes. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for as well with these podcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess I got a question for you, Lance. Is like,
Yeah.
you kind of want to go through like things you've dealt with your injuries, kind of like what got you through there. Maybe what was the most difficult for that, and I guess how it made you better in the long run, or what you took away from it.
So 2 years ago, actually, April 1st and June 10th of 2021, I had double labrum surgery 10 weeks apart. So I went from being in a sling, got out of it, basically got surgery, and got in a sling in the other arm. And I think that was just an accumulation of like all the work that I'd had put in the time before I kind of got to college. Because I remember like my senior year at Fargo, I think that's when I first tore my labrum on my left side, and I didn't really have many complications my redshirt year. Obviously, we didn't compete very much. I only had 5 matches or something like that because I had a knee injury that put me out for a few months. So I only wrestled at 2 tournaments. And then, getting into the redshirt freshman year, like that next year, my shoulder just started bothering me a lot. And it was weird because like once one started bothering me, then all of a sudden it was like I tore the other one, and that one started bothering me. So then I wrestled kind of that whole season, with double labrum tears, and eventually got to the conference tournament, and it was the first match, and I think my coach, Randy, told me, he's like, "Hey man, don't go upper body with this guy." And all of a sudden I'm wrestling and I get put into freaking double overs, and the kid just sends me and I land right on my shoulder and ended up separating my AC joint. So it was just unfortunate line of events that kind of happened, and I ended up having shoulder surgery and working through things. And at first it can be pretty depressing, especially when you came to college and not many injuries in high school really that put me out. So it was pretty discouraging, and kind of lonely, and getting through the first one especially, and then knowing, only a couple weeks later I'm gonna have to do the same thing, and it was just like, man, what am I gonna do? Like this sucks. So I really had to kind of dig deep, and I started reading different books by Ryan Holiday. I know our coach, Doug Schwab, kind of really likes that author, so he knew it would appeal to me, and I started reading some of those, and I read Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, which really helped me a lot. And then just diving deep into my faith, and I developing a good relationship with God, and coming to know who Jesus was and what he did for us. Just finding hope and faith, and just trusting in a bigger plan. And I think that's one thing that just really solidified who I was, and kind of my purpose, and what I wanted to do in my life. And I just want to help people. I want to inspire them and lead them, and just really push people to their full potential. And I think that's one thing that really motivates me to want to be a coach, is just because I have so much care, I guess, and just seeing somebody grow and go through things and get through them, and get back up on the horse after they've fallen off, and just continue to fight and not give up. And so I think those are some things that kind of got me through, and some things I learned and developed through that first, I don't know, probably 16 weeks, long weeks for sure. But, just having a good support system, and friends and family, and girlfriend, and all those good things that, all the people that I've been blessed to be surrounded by in my life, that just were there to check up on me and be there for me, even though, it probably was one of the darkest times of my life. And, but yeah, I was just grateful for that, looking back, and you can think of all the things that you could be better at, but then you're like, but if it didn't happen, where would I be without it? And who would I be? And what kind of joys would I have found otherwise? Because if it wasn't that, it could have been something else, So then, I kind of got back into the swing of things like December, late season, or beginning of season, mid-season, and then I didn't even compete until late season. So January of my sophomore year, and which was a COVID year, actually. So um, I was feeling pretty good, and then I kind of got through season, qualified for nationals, went 2-2 there, and then started training in the summer a little bit, and just, man, my shoulder was just giving me a bunch of complications again, and again, that discouragement kind of set in. But with that foundation that I had built up, like earlier with my other shoulder surgeries, I was still able to kind of find the joy and go into practice and things, and then once season came around, I was really struggling, and both my shoulders were giving me a lot of complications again, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do last year, and just kind of sitting down and talking to the coaches gave me, I don't know, the encouragement, I guess, that I needed to just put myself out there, and no matter what, just kind of give it your all, and despite your setbacks and your adversities, just, the team needs you. Like, how are you gonna take advantage of this opportunity? And I can't say that I'm necessarily happy with my results this year, but I think it was a good thing to be able to prove to myself, just to get through it, and do it for my team, do it for something bigger than me, the Panther that I wore on my chest. And so, yeah, I mean, throughout the season, I had multiple injections of cortisone and PRP. I did PT every day for about an hour with our trainer, and was trying to get it strong and get it healthy. And then, I mean, it just kind of plateaued. And I didn't have much strength. I was very undersized. I couldn't really lift or anything. So I was just, wrestling a couple times a week. And then towards the end of the season, it was just like, it's all or nothing at this point. So, I just kind of worked through the pain towards the end, and kind of tried to practice as much as I could. And
see, that's probably what I admire the most out of you from this year. Like, yeah, maybe you didn't have the results that you wanted or thought you were going to get, but I think you still made a huge impact on our team. Like, when we knew you were in pain every time you came to practice or it came down to competing, and I think we fed off that. I mean, to see you go out there and give it your all and battle through pain, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, so I don't know if you know how big of an impact you truly made, because I know I felt it when I was watching you.
I appreciate it. I mean, I had to really dig deep and find some motivation there, especially towards the end of the season, because I don't know, I kind of lost my joy and love for wrestling there, and for a while, and it was real draining on me, and just without the team and a few coaches that just helped motivate me and push me, I don't think I could have done it, especially not without my family and my girlfriend just supporting me and just giving me all the love and compassion I needed at the time, and just having my brother here too, knowing how much he looks up to me, and knowing how much I want to see him do well too, kind of encouraged me to continue to fight through. And then, watching Parker and feeling what I felt at the national tournament the year before, of just, I mean, seeing him kind of break down and be alone on that podium again, just knowing I couldn't fulfill the promise that I gave to him, that kind of crushed me a little bit, but also, inspired me to want to be out there and giving it my all next to him. So, yeah, I mean, kind of knew I was going to have shoulder surgery again come February. Wasn't getting better, just kind of plateaued. And so I went down to Des Moines and got another surgery after season at the end of March. I got my bicep tendon removed and repaired. They replaced it in the front, my humerus, because it was pulling on my labrum again and causing tears, and they cleaned up a bunch of things. So I was good. Hopefully success, and just going to take my time kind of getting back into things. I know it's kind of a long process, 6 months, but I've already seen a huge difference, a huge amount of growth compared to, 2 years ago when I had my other surgeries. Just being able to still have joy in where I'm at, and not being bitter at the moment. That's one thing I guess I've been reading in Job in the Bible. It's just his story and how everything was taken away from him so quickly, and how bitter he got towards God, and then realizing, this is a part of the plan. This is a part of the process. It's a part of the journey that he put me on, and kind of what lessons am I going to learn this time? That's really, what's motivating me and inspiring me through these moments, especially. And then, watching my mom freaking study for 8.5 months to pass a broker test. Man, she's an inspiration. She called me. She was so excited she finally passed, and she told me on the phone, never give up, and that was awesome to hear coming from her. That's just one thing she's always instilled in me, and both of my parents have, just the growth in their lives that they've made. So it's always been rooted within me. It's just something I've had to kind of go through different adversities and things to kind of mature early in my life and get through them,
Going back to the adversity too, like I know Doug, he always says, like, obviously he doesn't like us not succeeding and wants to see us like get to where we want to get, but he also likes seeing what comes from the adversity and from the failure of maybe not getting our goals. So and I 100% agree with that as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wisdom for sure.
Yeah, probably some stuff we can't say on here, but
oh yeah, for sure. I think we've kind of touched on, why it's just important for on and off the mat, because there's so many things that can happen outside of wrestling that, maybe you can't control, or maybe that have an effect on your wrestling, or maybe that's just personal things that happen that get in the way. Just knowing that there's a difference, and on and off the mat, and trying to give it your all in every aspect. Yeah. Yeah, those. What were you gonna say?
I really think that's kind of covered everything, at least for the first podcast. I know we'll get more into depth on stories for the ones to come. This first one was just kind of test run everything our first week, kind of get the flow, and yeah. So I know for sure we're gonna get some guests on here, like we said, and I'm excited to see who you bring on here. So
yeah, I guess too, just different. I don't know. Like you said, we did kind of cover it all, which is good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of get this thing rolling. First episode already almost done, so it's pretty cool.
Yep. I saw a TikTok today. I think it said to be in the 1 percentile of podcasters, you have to have 21 episodes. Usually, I think 90% of podcasters stop at 20. So we got to get to 20.
All right.
Got to be different.
We'll definitely get to 20. I guess, do you kind of want to touch on what we're going to be posting this on, and a couple, platforms or whatever we're kind of planning on doing with that, just so they kind of know where to find it.
So you'll see this one on YouTube. We'll also be on Spotify. We will be on Apple Podcasts. We need to have 3 episodes before we can apply for that. So that'll be coming soon. We'll have shorts or clips on our social media. And probably the best way to find these is going to our website, elitewrestlingclub.store. And we have a podcast section on the top that will show you our podcast website along with our latest episode as well. And kind of like what Lance said before, like make sure you're commenting what you want to see. Or I guess anything else.
Yeah, any suggestions for guests or different content, even behind the scenes kind of stuff. If you're wanting to see, I can always log in and take you through different types of content, things like that on Instagram or TikTok or whatever you guys are interested in.
Or DM us too on social media or whatever.
Yeah. And just, subscribe to our YouTube, share our stuff. Let's get this thing blown up quick and get a good following and support so we can grow, and find some different things that'll help us continue to grow and hopefully get some gear and different things like that for you guys and for us to give you guys our all, I guess. Give you guys our best. So.
Yep. And then lastly, like if Corey Land, he's got a drop coming here this Sunday. So make sure to support the mini fridge.
The mini fridge.
Mini fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I was just thinking about too the different product placement kind of things I could have in this with my sponsorship of Fit Aid and Legendary Foods. I haven't reached out to them yet, so I'm going to kind of hold off. But if you guys got any get any interest in that kind of stuff too, just let us know. Make sure to like and subscribe and share as much as you can. Thank you guys for tuning in and kind of signing off.
Yeah. Thanks, Lance.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy.